The sky's falling, the wind is calling, stand for something or die in the morning. Section 80, high power.
Visions of Martin Luther staring at me. Malcolm X put a hex on my future, someone catch me. I'm falling victim to a revolutionary song. The Serengeti's clone. Back to put you backstabbers back on your spinal bone. You slit your disc when I slit you my dish. You wanted to diss but jumped on my dick. Grown men never should bite their tongue unless you eating pussy that smell like it's a stale plum. I got my finger on the motherfucking pistol, aiming it at a pig. Charlotte's Web is gonna miss you. My issue isn't televising. You ain't gotta tell the wise how to stay on beat because our life's an instrumental. This is physical and mental. I won't sugarcoat it. You'll die from diabetes if these other niggas wrote it. And everything on TV just a figment of imagination. I don't want a plastic nation. Dread that like a Haitian. While you motherfuckers waiting, I be off the slave ship, building pyramids, writing my own hieroglyphs. Just call it shit high power. Nigga, nothing less than high power. 5-star dishes, food for thought, bitches. I mean, this shit is Huey Newton going stupid, you can't resist his high power. Throw your hands up for high power.
He is a sort of gangster, you know, because this is a gangster story, but a gangster with a difference because this is a gangster with a conscience.
Visions of Martin Luther staring at me. If I see it how he seen it, that will make my parents happy. Sorry mama, I can't turn the other cheek. They wanna knock me off the edge like a fucking widow's peak. And she always told me pray for the weak. Them demons got me, I ain't prayed in some weeks. Dear Lord, come save me, the devil's working on. He probably clocking double shifts on all of his jobs. Frightening, so fucking frightening, enough to drive a man insane. I need a license to kill. I'm standing on a field full of landmines, doing the moonwalk, hoping I blow up in time. Cause 2012 might not be a fucking legend, trying to be a fucking legend, the man of mankind. Who said a black man in the Illuminati? Last time I checked, that was the biggest racist party. So get up off that slave ship, build your own pyramids, write your own hieroglyphs. Just call it shit high power. Nigga, nothing less than high power. 5-star dishes, food for thought, bitches. I mean, this shit is Bobby Seale making meals, you can't resist his high power. Throw your hands up for high power. Who said a black man in Illuminati? Last time I checked, that was the biggest racist party. Last time I checked, we was racing with Marcus Garvey on the freeway to Africa till I wrecked my Audi. And I want everybody to view my autopsy so you can see exactly where the government has shot me. No conspiracy, my fate is inevitable. They play musical chairs once I'm on that pedestal. Frightening, so fucking frightening, enough to drive a man insane, a woman insane. The reason Lauren Hill don't sing, or Kurt Cobain loaded that clip and then said bang. The drama it brains crazy, product of the late 80s, trying to stay above water, that's why we shun the Navy. Pull your guns and play me, let's set it off. Cause a riot, throw a model top. Somebody told me them pirates had got lost. Cause we been off them slave ships, got our own pyramids, write our own hieroglyphs. Just call it shit high power. Yeah, nothing less than high power. 5-star dishes, food for thought, bitches. I mean, this shit is Fred Hampton on your campus, you can't resist his high power. Throw your hands up for high power. Thug life. Thug life.
Nobody knows. Nobody remembers that I walked away from the show twice last season. Nobody asked about that. You know, in one of these magazines, Newsweek, it's a very credible magazine, and they're saying you know, maybe I smoked crack, and it was all innuendo. And the magazine as credible as Newsweek, I was very surprised that this was happening. And then I got to make some real choices, man. Is that what I want for myself? Did I get too big? Because I like people. I like entertaining. And the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am. You know, is it going to get to the point where I'm doing a striptease on TRL or waving a gun on the street, saying they're trying to kill me? No, I'm not going to let it get to that point. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm going to find a way to be myself, man. I gotta, you know, I'm an artist, man. I don't need a sneaker deal. I mean, I'd like one, but that's not the need that makes you guys go to school. You're not in this school right now because you want a sneaker deal. It'd be nice, but that's not why you're here, right? You're not here because, you know, you'd like to be in the movies, but to act or to entertain it's a need that maybe a lot of your friends don't even understand. But you got that need, and you have your dreams. And there's only 6 studios, man. There's only 6 agencies, man. This is a small, controlled thing, and I don't like having to beg for the spotlight, man. You know, the machine is good for us, and we good for the machine, and it should be fair, man. It should be fair.
What did you find in Africa that was an antidote to that?
In Africa? Well, a lot of things. First of all, I'm a Muslim. I don't necessarily practice the way a good Muslim is supposed to practice, but I believe in these tenets. And in Africa, there's a small community of people that don't know anything about the work I do, and they just treat me like I'm a regular dude. So I knew that in Africa I'd have a place to sleep, and that I wouldn't have to feel strange. And, you know, when they would call me crackhead and all these things, in the country where I'm from, in Africa, they didn't know anything. They was feeding me and taking care of me and taking me to the mall and just regular stuff. And it just made me feel good. It just reminded me that I was a person, you know. I didn't even know they were saying those things about me. Then I call home and people be like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" "Yeah, chill, I'm in Africa, baby. What's going on?" And then I got a call from a journalist that had been working on a story, and he was like, "Yeah, rumor mill's going on about you. Just want to clear a few things up." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on?" "Okay, do you smoke crack?" I said, "What? Do you smoke crack? Did you graduate from high school?" I mean, it was all these crazy questions. And I thought about never coming back. I said, this place is crazy. Like, I'm that dude. I just thought about all the things that celebrities go through and what celebrities become in our culture. You know, if you Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston and your marriage is breaking up, that's an awful thing. But to see that speculation in people gotta sting a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh my God, I'm one of those people. That's a small club, man. That's a weird place to be. Ain't really no going back. You can't get unfamous. You can get infamous. Right. But you can't get unfamous.
Right.
So I got scared. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I was scared to death. And I didn't touch the mic. But you know what was cool, man? The first time I went back out and did stand-up, I was in Cincinnati. So it's not far from the farm. I said, if I got to run, I can get home fast. And club sold out real fast. I played a comedy club. And man, when I walked out on that stage and them people were screaming, I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. Because this industry can say whatever they want, but man, people will hold you up. And that crowd, man, my spirits were so low when they was just holding me up. And I hadn't told jokes, but this was just coming back like, Karate Kid again, you're the best Oh, man, I was just doing it, man. Man, I don't know how this whole Dave Chapelle thing is going to end, but I feel like I'm going to be some kind of parable by either what you're supposed to do or what you're not supposed to. So I'm going to be something. I'm either going to be a legend or just that tragic fucking story, but I'm going full throttle. I'm going all the way. I'm eager to find out how this will resolve itself.
You know, you have Chapelle's show, this almost like overnight success. Do you still feel that it was kind of maybe too much all at once, or do you feel that, again, with the decades worth of work, that it was just?
Was it too much at once?
Or do you feel it was deserved? Which it was?
I don't know. I deserved something. I mean, literally. Deserve is deserved is a tough word, but the show it all seemed like a logical progression. You know, like, I could have pulled a LeBron and exploded when I was a kid, but it didn't happen that way, and I'm probably better for it. Like, had I got that kind of, I'm 32 and I went to Africa, so I can only imagine what would happen if I was like 19 and had Chapelle's show. Or if I could even handle it. It's a tremendous responsibility, having a show like that. But everything was going fine, I think, till season 3. I mean, and it wasn't the fame that got to me. I love people. I like people saying that they like what I do, and you know, there's just a whole, you know, it's like an economic threshold you cross, man. You know, they had thrown out numbers like $50 million. You put that in the paper next to your name, then that guy's gonna have some serious problems in his personal life. There's no question. You know, I like to live a more open life. I don't like to have to protect myself from people. I don't want my life to become about enforcing boundaries, you know, but that's what happens when you become successful. Your humanity diminishes and you become something else to people. You ever see the cartoons where they're hungry and he looks over his buddy and his buddy look like a chicken dinner? That's kind of like, it's kind of like that. I think that America needs an honest discourse with itself. It's like the greatest country in the world by default. You know what I mean? But we could actually be the greatest country that ever existed if we were just honest about who we are and what we are and where we want to go, and if we learn how to have that discourse. Things like racism are institutionalized. It's systemic. You might not know any bigots. You feel like, well, I don't hate black people, so I'm not a racist. But you benefit from racism just by the merit of the color of your skin. There's opportunities that you have. You're privileged in ways that you may not even realize because you haven't been deprived in certain ways. We need to talk about these things in order for them to change. I do the show. I walk down the street. Black people like it. White people, the generations, it doesn't matter because it needs to be talked about. It's like the elephant in the living room that nobody says anything about. So when the Bigsby thing came out, there was a lady from Texas that called Comedy Central, I mean, damn near 100 times. She was furious with me. I wasn't mad at her for being mad at me. It's like, okay, that's good, you know. Not good that she's mad at me, but she's entitled to her opinion. And maybe she's right. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. That's what I did. I'm a comedian, man. That's how I look at the world, and that's what I'm spitting out. So I don't judge people or not like people for thinking. People that I love tell me I go too far sometimes. Maybe I went too far, but I did it.
But see, everybody hollering about Conrad Murray. Michael was not paying Conrad Murray to do these things. There's other people that's involved. Conrad Murray just a fall guy. I'm after justice and I have to get all the guys that was treating Michael wrong. And it was more than just Conrad Murray.
The album was #1 all over the world. all over the world. America's the only one because, I don't want to say too much.
But it's not number one in the United States.
It's conspiracy, yeah. I don't want to say too much. I'm done. I don't want to say...
The media gives us different views of what took place. You need to analyze it on your own, what you think took place, what the facts are, and what the truth is.
Michael Jackson were what we call enablers. They had a lot to gain from him and a lot to lose from him. He was dependent and ruled by others, and that really contributed to his demise.
He had ruthless people around him who found him to be extremely vulnerable.
They're all sycophants. They're parasites, most of them financial parasites. He was surrounded by people who were just interested in how much money he can make for them.
But when I say Jew me, sue me, everybody do me, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me, I'm talking about myself as the victim. You know,
But I understand in 2005 you were with him and actually took him to a hospital at one point, correct?
Yes, that's right. That was the last week of the trial. And when I got a call from Joe and a message from his mother that I needed to come out and just take a look at him because they was worried about his demeanor. When I get there, I go to the trial. From there, we go back to Netherlands. And he asked me to come upstairs, and then he grabbed me and started crying and said, please don't leave me. They're trying to kill me. And I said, when's the last time you ate? He said, no, they'll poison me. I said, well, when's the last time you drank water? And so one thing led to another. So I have a friend of mine that has this huge machine in L.A., Global Cardia Care. I said, if you can bring this machine down, Michael's agreed to get on it. And they clamp you and they squeeze you, and it'll print out everything in your body. And the only thing that it printed out was he was extremely dehydrated. Nothing wrong with his heart, nothing wrong with his lungs. And so the next day after we left court, I said, I need to take you to a hospital. He said, no, they'll kill me. And I said, well, let's do this. Let's let nobody know where we're going. Let me drive you up to San Francisco to a hospital that don't even know we coming. He agreed to that. And then I said, look, 20 miles away from here, let's go to one of these hospitals. And we went to a hospital, and they examined him, and at 5:30, or a little bit before 6, they started intravenously putting liquid in him. At 6 o'clock the next morning, they were still putting water in him. And the doctor said to me, had he waited 12 more hours, he would have been dead.
What was going through your mind when you're taken into a police station in handcuffs to have a mug shot taken that you know is going to be shown around the world?
They did it to try and belittle me, to try and to take away my pride. But I went through the whole system with them, and at the end, I wanted the public to know that I was okay, even though I was hurting.
What happened when they arrested you? What did they do to you?
They were supposed to go in and just check fingerprints and do the whole thing that they do when they take somebody in. They manhandled me very roughly. My shoulder is dislocated, literally. It's hurting me very badly. I'm in pain all the time. See this arm? This is as far as I can reach it. Same with this side over here.
Because of what happened at the police station?
Yeah, at the police station. And what they did to, if you saw what they did to my arms, it was very bad what they did. It was very swollen. I don't want to say.
But how
You'll see.
We were given this photograph said to be taken after Michael Jackson was released on bail. Jackson says the swelling above his wrist is where the police handcuffed him. How did they do it? I mean, what did they do?
With the handcuffs, the way they tied them too tight behind my back.
Behind your back?
Yeah, and they put it in a certain position, knowing that it's going to hurt and affect my back. Now I can't move. It keeps me from sleeping at night. I can't sleep at night.
And Jackson says there was more.
One time I asked to use the restroom, and they said, sure, it's right around the corner there. Once I went in the restroom, they locked me in there for like 45 minutes. There was doo-doo, feces thrown all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad. Then one of the policemen came by the window and he made a sarcastic remark. He said, does it smell good enough for you in there? How do you like the smell? Is it good? And I just simply said, it's all right. It's okay.
Conrad Murray's actions, Conrad Murray's omissions to act, directly caused the death of Michael Jackson. Conrad Murray figuratively and literally abandoned Michael Jackson on June 25th, 2009.
Involved in this whole conspiracy. This is a conspiracy that we're dealing with. And a lot of people don't know that and understand it. They only know what the media feeds you, as you well know, because we believe. See, the media is the eyes and ears to the world. Whatever they feed us is what we hear.
True.
And that's what we believe. And that's what the media is doing. I want the truth.
And what do you think is the truth, though? That there are other people involved, and what else?
Well, Michael told me before he passed. He told me that he was afraid that he was going to die. He was going to be murdered, he said.
He thought he would be murdered?
Oh, yeah, he did. He said that to me. So, homicide's a murder as far as I'm concerned. But the problem is that who did it? Who actually did it? Who manipulated this?
It might not be just one person, you're
saying.
saying.
It's not one person, no, not at all.
Okay. Now you see.
That's called murder! Let me see the hands who's reporting. It's all on the internet!
You gotta wonder if he wasn't killed. My first thought when the movie was over, this is it. Because they don't have to mess with him anymore. They have all this music, all this footage. We're gonna have Michael Jackson till the day we die. It seems like everybody's better off and richer without Michael.
I've heard that a lot of folks say that Michael was worth more dead than alive. It breaks my heart to hear this. Is it true? I don't know whether it's true. Time, I think, is the only judge that we can ever have of that.
How has it impacted
my
touring, record sales?
Album's #1 all over the world. All over the world. America's the only one because I don't want to say too much.
But it's not #1 in the United States.
It's conspiracy, yeah. I don't want to say too much. I'm done. I don't want to say much.
The brand new album from the greatest artist of all time, out now.
If you were in Michael's life, would he still be alive today?
Of course. Of course. I had told some people, some friends, that if I don't get to Michael, he ain't gonna be here long. I said that. He won't be with us long. And I called a shot to the T. That's exactly what had happened. I just didn't like to see him. Matter of fact, I wouldn't go and see him laying up in the casket because I didn't want to remember him like that.
Will you be there for me? When wrong, will you scold me? When lost, will you find me? But they told me that you be faithful and walk with my devil. Fight to the end, but I'm only human. I'll reach out my hand to you. I'm waiting on you. Just call my name.
Nutrition problem. I'm quite sure it is. All I eat is bullshit. If you like me, then you eat bullshit too. Is it a conspiracy? A conspiracy? No, it's not no conspiracy. Everybody fucked up. Nobody's body's right. Why you think we always getting cancer at the end of the day? My vote count, I'm not voting. I don't do no voting. Everybody think I will keep it straight up real with you. I don't believe in none of this shit that's going on in the world. You talk to me, you'll be talking to me for hours because everything has a contradiction. Everything is, you know, higher rankings and is way beyond us, way beyond people. So basically, do what you do good with your people, and live your life because what's going on is not really in our hands. If not in the president's hands, then it's definitely not in yours. Take that. So come on. Yeah, when I say the president can't even control the world, then you know it's definitely something else that's out there, you know, that's really pushing the buttons, you know, so they can do whatever they want to do. They've been doing it for years. We all puppets. Just play your cards right. Man, probably not. I wouldn't care. I'm trying to land in a motherfucking mansion in some years with my family, man. All that other shit is beyond me. I think these motherfuckers start focusing on what they need to do in life and not worrying about the world, then they will make, you know, their situation a better place, but we'll constantly stress ourselves and trying to figure this shit out. Believe in God. It's only one God. Fuck all that religious shit. Believe in one God. And do right. You know, try your best to do right. We ain't perfect. Just do that, and then everything will be straight. But as far as worrying about the man on the moon and, you know, all the other bullshit, it's irrelevant. It's 2012, and that's how I'm thinking right now. Yep.
Do you know what the New World Order is?
No, I don't want to talk about the New World Order.
Okay. What do you think of religion?
I don't want to talk about religion.
There's a natural mystic flowing through the air.
L'un des principes fondamentaux de la philosophie Rasta est de croire aux vertus curatives et apaisantes de la marijuana, dont Bob est un fervent adepte.
Herb. Herb is a plant. I mean, herbs are good for everything. Why these people who want to do so much good for everyone, who call themselves governments and this and that, why them say you must not use the herb? You see, we just see them just say, no, you must use it because it make you rebel. Against what? Against men who won't crave, because them crave for the things like say, well, then them have some material things and them want to captivate your mind and tell you, say, well, you have to work and put you on pension and him keep it all. So herb make you look for yourself, and instead of you want to work for the man, you want to be one of the man too. Not in the sense of how him is, but in the sense of why should you have to bow to these things. That means you own man. That's the first time you own yourself. You do what you want to do. Anything people want to say about you, you don't care.
It takes a revolution to make a solution.